this short video I'm going to show you my top 5 favourite wrist and hand mobilizations. We all use our phones probably more than we should. Many of us work on computers. Some of us have been working from home a lot recently, and our wrists might have struggled a little bit, and I think it's really important to look after their health, to keep them mobile, to keep them flexible. And it's something that we tend to forget quite a lot. I love those mobilizations that I'm about to show you. I include them a lot in my yoga classes, especially at the beginning when we sort of get ready. And yeah, let's go. So number 1, you can just sit like we are. And what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our arms out in front of us. We're going to make fists, and we're going to roll our wrists very gently. Arms about at shoulder level. We're going to roll them in as your knuckles point in, your knuckles point in. Probably feel quite the stretch on the back of your hand here. I'm just going to do this very gently, as slow or as fast as feels good to you. One more. And now I'm going to turn around and do that in the other direction. Very mindfully moving here. 2 more. Lovely. Shake our wrists out. So that's a really easy one that you can do anytime you want, really, whenever you sit at your desk. We're going to come into tabletop now for a couple. So for tabletop, we want I'll show you this a bit more sort of at an angle here. We want our hands shoulder width apart. Your wrist, elbow and shoulder are stacked on top of each other. Your knees are hip width apart. Toes can just point back, really relaxed. I'm going to gently flat back. Your fingers are spread really nice and wide like starfish. Lovely. And we're pressing through the whole hand here. So pressing through the ball of the hand, this part. We're pressing through where the fingers meet the hand here. We're also pressing through the knuckles of the hands, the fingers and the fingertips. So really spreading the weight of our body through the whole hand. And that's what you want to do when you're in down dog as well. No, we're not going to be doing that today. And we're going to start by gently swaying forward and backward. And you can do that as much as you want. So it can be really big movement, always coming into an up dog and then pushing back into a child's pose. Or it can be a really small movement. Whatever feels good to you today. Okay, let's do a few more here. Just waking up our wrists. Bringing a bit of weight into them. It's great when you're at the beginning of a class to get used to having weight in the hands. And coming back to center and stillness. For the next one, we're going to turn our hands in so that our fingers are pointing to our knees and our thumbs are pointing to the outside edge of your mat if you're doing it central, facing forward. So, back into our tabletop, and we're going to turn our hand out like that. Turn it out. That's going to be a lot more intense as a stretch. The closer you bring your hands to yourself, the more you take the intensity out. So the closer to your knees, the less intense. Further away from your body, the more intense. And we're going to gently move here. Really gentle, very small movement. And what you can do is, if you enjoy the heels of your hands, the ball of your hands coming off the ground, you can do that. Or I quite like to keep the whole hand in contact with the ground. All right. One more. I'm going to turn one hand at a time, gently back. All right. So those were number 1 and number 2. Those were number 2 and number 3 of our wrist mobilization. So for the last one, we're going to stay in tabletop but do it one hand at a time. So again, hands on the shoulders, and we're now going to turn the back of our hand on the ground. So our fingers again are pointing to our knees, but now our thumbs are pointing inwards. The back of the hand on the mat, again spreading the fingers nice and wide, trying to have all fingers in touch with the ground, even if it's only so we're going to do like the side of the fingertip of your thumb. We're going to gently rock here. Again, very gentle. Be very gentle with yourself. Maybe one more rock or two. And then coming to center, stillness, and switching that hand around. Staying here for a moment to let our hands acclimatize. And now the other hand. I'll just show you from the side, in case you could see that very well. Placing the hand like that. The back of the hand is on the ground. Fingers are pointing towards us, thumbs pointing inwards. And we're going to gently, gently rock here. Very small movement, spreading the fingers wide. Two more. And coming to center. And then stillness, and then turning the hand around. Pausing here for a moment. And let's sit back in your lovely Savasana before. What we're just going to do here, again, what we did after our first wrist movement was just shake our hands out. Feels good after this one. Lovely. What I want us to do now is we're going to mix these two up as the last one. So we're going to interlace our hands. And we're going to bring them in front of us and we're going to make a wave with our hands. Just gently moving here through our hands. Do that in front of you, I've just shown that to you there. Lovely. And then turning it around. That's going to be a bit tricky because it's generally what's less natural to us. We tend to start with the one that feels easy. Lovely. And now we're going to keep our fingers interlaced. We're going to push our palms away from us, turning our hands around. Let's just lift our hands here. And staying here for a moment. 1, 2, 3, and calming down again, releasing our fingers. Lovely. So those are my favorite wrist mobilizations. 5, 6-ish poses here, or movements here. And yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you see you soon.